Okay. I just wanted to let you know what I'm writing about, and thank you again, all of you, for the information that you've been sharing with me, because it really does help. It makes me think about things that I didn't think of, or parts of the journey that I never went through, so it helps me a lot. Right now, it's funny, I've been writing about, I guess, personality changes is the best way to describe it, like people coming out of their shell and all that sort of thing. It was funny, the minute I started writing about that, I started seeing lots of blogs about the same subject matter, so it must be on everybody's mind. I think it reinforced that it's a good thing to think about as you go through this process. I think that, well, one thing, I never had a discussion about this with my psychiatrist. Like I said, my psychiatrist visit was pretty much 20 minutes of a few questions, and most of the time he spent writing things down, so it was kind of a no-brainer and never got deep into anything, really. But I've seen a lot of people, like on Lap Band Talk and other places, that had major personality changes and seemed to want to clean up the things in their lives that they already weren't happy with but were just tolerating, maybe because they didn't feel as confident about themselves. I saw, other friends that I'd made on Lap Band Talk get divorced. I saw them, go through midlife crises almost. I saw people get a lot happier, all ends of the spectrum. So it's kind of an interesting subject to talk about. So I've been working on that, and the interesting part for me is that I guess I've been skinny and fat so many times that I don't see that dramatic change in myself at all, because I've been skinny as an adult, I guess. If I'd never been skinny as an adult, I think that the changes would be a lot more marked than they are right now for me, because you've never been there, and it's kind of a new thing. With me, it doesn't really matter. I was happy, or thought I was happy. Had a happy life, and I still do, but not happy with myself. It was funny, though. The other day I was outside in the front gardening, and it's just a mess, and we've been trying to clean up the beds out there. We put new bushes in, and it just had gotten to be overgrown. We'd never lived anywhere that was long enough to have to redo stuff. But one of my neighbors walked across the street, and she was telling me how great I looked, and all that kind of stuff. And then she said, "It's so nice to see you out again and doing gardening, because I know you love that, and I see you talking to people and all that kind of thing," because she just said, "You're such a social person." And that made me think when I came back inside, I think one of the reasons the front of the house turned into such a mess is because I was embarrassed to be seen out there, my grubby gardening clothes, like working in the yard. Every time I was out in the front, I always remember thinking one thought, those hillbilly signs with a woman's butt sticking up in the air that people put in their yard with a wood sign or whatever. That's what I felt like. And, if neighbors came up the street, and were they going to think, "Oh my God, she's gotten so huge." So it was something that I was aware of, and she was obviously aware of, and she pointed it out to me. So I guess there have been some changes, and it's nice because I'm back to gardening more. I planted like 40 pots this week. It's been a crazy week, and I've got to order mulch today, so there'll be more gardening in the future. But I just wanted to say hey and let you know what I'm thinking about and talking about. And please keep giving me information if you have any, thoughts on how your personality is not changing, but maybe developing into the person you want to be or the person you're becoming. Send me an email if you want, or leave it on my blog. Remember, I'll never use anybody's names or quotes or anything like that. So I really appreciate the help, and